Welcome, everyone, to the Daily Juice Podcast on the Betting Pros Network. I'm your host, Sean, stacking the money green. And as always, give me a follow on Twitter at Sean T. Green. And of course, Daily Juice is being brought to you by BetMGM. Use that promo code JUICE, and the $10 bet turns into $200 in free bets if either team scores a touchdown. Good for college and pro football. Restrictions apply. Hey, how we looking? How we doing? How we feeling? Friday night lights. I guess that's technically high school football, which I didn't bet on, although I would. If someone's got some lines out there, feel free to hit me up in the old DMs. Let's get some high school football action going. 1 and 2. Really could have been worse. Really could have been better. I mean, a couple plays away from being 3-0 and a couple plays away from being 0-3. Get to the recap. And then I'm looking at this college football slate. We got a nice slate here. 4 plays, including a massive money line dog, because I know there's some DGens listening to the show, so shout out to the DGens. All right, first up, Cincinnati. The Bearcats, they won 27-25. Couldn't get the cover, unfortunately. So that's the first L. Up 24-12 at half. They just couldn't close it out. And shout out to ECU. Like, they played a pretty good second half, kept it competitive. I knew Cincinnati was going to win that game, and that knowing they were going to win, I thought they could cover that number. They had some opportunities, kind of looked a little sloppy there in the second half. Oh, the Detroit Pistons. This one seemed cooked, and then hanging around late, catching 8.5. Of course, they lose exactly by 9 points to the Knicks in the Garden. I don't even want to look at what it closed at. I didn't even see which way the line went. I'm not even going to punish myself with the idea that if maybe it closed at 9 or 9.5, if you guys tailed it, hopefully you got the push, maybe even a win. Again, I'm going to refuse to look at that because it's not going to help me. You know, I'm looking in the looking through the I was going to call it, looking through the windshield. No rear view mirror, although I am recapping the picks, technically rear view mirror. Oh, but what a delicious view in the rear view mirror. That's right, USC 55-17. Thought I was going to have to eat crow here. I got a little cute because I go, I really like the first half, 21.5. But yeah, I think you're better off taking the game here. Of course, they end up winning the first half by 23 points. And then the entire second half, I go, oh my, I'm going to look like a complete idiot because I talked myself out of the first half, and then look, they're gonna blow the cover. They almost blew the cover. Some would argue they should have blown the cover. If you had the Buffs plus 34.5, you're probably pretty annoyed with that result because USC was just going for it. And shout out to USC. In college football especially, you kind of have to figure that into your handicapping. It's not always easy, but if you have any leans, angles, or insight as far as like how much these coaches care about covering the spread, it was clear USC was trying to cover that spread, and they did, getting that last touchdown to cover the number with 36 seconds left. So 36 seconds left, they score. They were on the 3. They could have kneeled it out and won 48-17. Instead, they did the right thing. So fight on, USC. Again, I was talking trash on USC, but great school, great organization, top to bottom. Can't think of anything wrong with them. Hey, if you guys got your entry in for the autographed Kenneth Walker jersey, all you got to do go to youtube.com/bettingpros, hit subscribe, comment on this video. Next thing you know, you're automatically entered to win an autographed Kenneth Walker jersey, courtesy of Pristine Auction. Make sure you turn those notifications on. Can't stress that enough. You don't want to be missing out when we announce the winner. I mean, I'll announce it on the show, but sometimes people miss an episode, which you really shouldn't be doing because every episode is as good, if not better, than the next. I would say the episodes just continually get better and better. That's my self-scouting. All right. LSU at Arkansas. This should be a fun game. I'm taking Arkansas as the home dog, +4. Suey! Woo pig! I don't even know if that's the right way to do it. I just enjoy saying that. 2 units on all these plays, so we can get that out of the way. Arkansas is a very good running attack, running for 246 yards per game. This is just, I mean, I could go matchup all day, and matchups probably favor LSU. That's why they're the 4-point road favorite. But I'm a situational handicapper, especially when it comes to college football, college basketball, and I should be peppering in some college basketball picks. Had a nice little run there over on the Sports Gambling Podcast. I make sure I'll get you guys some of those as well. LSU, though, they're coming off a statement win over Alabama. I mean, I think that was the first time Brian Kelly had ever beaten Alabama or Nick Saban, and this is just a huge letdown opportunity for LSU. You win as a 13.5-point dog, and now you go on the road against Arkansas, and Arkansas is in a bounce back situation. So this is a great situation both ways. Arkansas just lost to Liberty, kind of an embarrassing loss for Arkansas, and now they get a chance to right the ship at home against LSU. In general, I love fading teams the week after they storm the field, right? I mean, we saw LSU storming the field. There's a hilarious video of this this little redheaded kid. Maybe he's in high school, I don't know. But as soon as the final seconds ticked off, he makes a beeline, immediately picks up the pylon, and runs off the field. I'll put the link in the Daily Juice Discord. Hit me up if I forget. But I kept watching it because the kid was cracking me up. Regardless, it's all about situational spot. And I think the matchup that really could make a difference in the game is, can Arkansas slow down LSU's rushing attack? And I'm a big believer that rushing defense in particular is effort, and I think you're going to get the best effort out of this Arkansas team as a home dog. So give me Arkansas +4. Next up, you got Alabama at Ole Miss. Ole Miss is +12. I'm taking that for 2 units. Ole Miss is, but they always have that offense putting up 37 points per game. They're also a very good running offense, 267 yards per game. Ole Miss has won 14 games in a row at home, so I really like the +12. And we talked about coaches earlier that may be aware of the spread. Lane Kiffin, I don't know if he's exactly outright said it, but he's implied it a number of times. He's like the Al Michaels of college football head coaches. He knows what the spread is. He knows what he has to do to get the cover. Now, normally you would look and say, "Oh, Alabama lost. They're going to come back. You're going to see a really focused, determined Alabama team, and they're going to dominate Ole Miss and cover this 12-point as a road favorite." But they just haven't been doing that this year. In situational spots where you think you're going to see a dominant Alabama performance, we just kind of haven't seen that. And I just think it's as simple as, like, Alabama isn't as good as the preseason hype. They weren't as historically good compared to other Alabama teams. Are they a really good team? Yeah, but I don't know if they're like a dominant team. And again, this is Ole Miss. This could be their Super Bowl. Rebels lead the SEC in plays of 20-plus yards or more, 63. And being a team that can rush the ball really well, you can bleed the clock, you can keep Bryce Young off the field, you can put yourself in a good situation. So Friday, a Saturday night game, home dog, you're going to see a lot of that. I love me a home dog. And maybe Alabama, that was a dream crusher game. Like, maybe the Alabama players realize their playoff hopes are done. Either way, 12 points seems way too much. So give me Ole Miss here +12. Hey, bettingpros.com/NFL props. Have you gone over there? It is a part of my prop process. It's a little bit of a tongue twister, but I go there, I start clicking around on the players I like, the games I like. I look at what I'm kind of thinking game-wise and compare their projections. They have a ton of stats, ton of information. Again, like, why not? They have supercomputers over at Betting Pros crunching these numbers, doing the heavy lifting, and you guys can take them from there and put your own handicap on top of it, or you can just blindly take the leans there on the props. Tons of great props. So bettingpros.com/NFL props do a great job of finding you the best number. So again, even if you're just betting the best number, you automatically give yourself a nice little boost there. Next up, a little Pac-12 action. Washington at Oregon. I'm keeping it chalky here. My only favorite of the slate. Give me Oregon -12 for 2 units over on PointsBet. I mean, Washington has just not shown up historically in Oregon. 2-15 straight up their last 17 games. 2-14-1 against the spread. Normally the number's probably not this big, but Washington has really struggled on the road this season. 1-8 ATS their last 9. And Oregon, I mean, minus that 49-3 thumping against Georgia week 1, they've just been looking like a completely different team. And Oregon is kind of sniffing around. They're hanging around that college football playoff bracket. They need a statement win here. And style points could matter to the committee here. So you saw USC, running it up against Colorado, I don't know how many points that really helped you, but some of that stuff does factor in here. And Bo Nix, I did not expect this season out of Bo Nix. I'm first one to raise my hand. Bo Nix is having a hell of a season for the Ducks here, and he's responsible for 36 touchdowns, 22 passing, 13 rushing. I didn't do the math there. There must be one extra touchdown in there. Either way, he is a dark horse candidate for the Heisman. 35 touchdowns, we'll call it. He's having a great season, and I expect that to continue today. So give me Oregon minus 12. Last but not least, Georgia at Mississippi State. Now, take this with a grain of salt because I'm friendly with Coach Leach, does my other show, and he's a really good dude. Love talking to him, so I'm completely biased, but I'm calling for it. Mississippi State on the upset plus 600, 2-unit play. Let's go. Coach Leach is a national treasure, first and foremost. I don't know if you guys saw the video of him taking all his receivers' chairs on the bench and just immediately folding them up, tossing them around. And then he was calling out their work ethic. They kind of fell apart. They almost lost that game. They had no business losing that game. And then they pulled it out. I think this is just kind of the perfect spot for Mississippi State. Mike Leach normally shows up as a big dog, 16-7 ATS as an underdog of 14 or more. And, obviously Mississippi State throwing the ball really well. Will Rogers having a really good season. Mississippi State putting up 320 yards per game. Georgia right there as well, obviously with 328, both ranked top 10 nationally. I think this would surprise people that Mississippi State's pass defense is a little better than you think. 13th in success rate against the pass defensively. Their issue really is defending the run. We'll see if Georgia wants to just try and pound the rock against them. That's probably the better way to do it. But Georgia doesn't play the air raid a lot. And if you don't play the air raid a lot, it is a tough thing to prepare for. And kind of coming back to the theme, Georgia could be smelling themselves. They just had a massive, massive win against Tennessee, and now they're going on the road facing a Mississippi State team that no one thinks can pull off the W. That is how you set yourself up for a massive college football upset. So give me Mississippi State plus 600 for 2 units. Give me Oregon minus 12 for 2 units. Give me Ole Miss plus 12 for 2 units, and Arkansas plus 4 for 2 units as well. As always, betmgm.com, promo code JUICE. Follow us on TikTok at Betting Pros. Follow me on Twitter at Sean T. Green. Check out my other podcast, the Sports Gambling Podcast. You know what to do. Subscribe, rate, and review. And as always, don't forget to let it ride.